2024. 2 games coming up this month for Gilas Pilipinas men. We do thank you for joining us. We know traffic has been wild, it's been raining quite a bit, but you made the effort to join us here, and now it's time to introduce our VIPs who you will get to talk to in just a little bit, starting out with our SVP President, Mr. Alfrancis. Sir Al, thank you so much for joining us. Also here from the SVP is our Executive Director, Ms. Erica D. How about a warm round of applause for Gilas Pilipinas Head Coach, Tim Cone. Also joining us is Gilas Pilipinas Team Manager, Richard Del Rosario. Now to welcome our friends from the media with the opening remarks, we toss the mic over to our SVP President, Mr. Al. Mr. Al.
Thank you, Carlo. Magandang hapon sa inyo lahat. Thank you for being here. Really not much to say except, of course, we're excited again for this window. As you know, this is a qualifying window for the Fiba Asia Cup that will happen in August of next year in Saudi Arabia. So far we have been undefeated, but we want to make sure that we continue to win as many games as we can, as Tim said, and have because the more wins, of course, you have, the better seeding you have coming into the tournament. And of course, you don't want to beat the less stronger teams at the start of the tournament, and you only meet with the stronger teams hopefully at the tail end of the tournament. So, about to start preparations this Friday, and really looking forward to this window. Both games here in Manila. There's another window next year in February, both outside the Philippines. So this will be the last time that we'll see the team, maybe for quite some time. So. Hopefully, we have your support from the media and of course the fans to support the team on the 21st and the 24th when we play New Zealand and Hong Kong. Again, maraming salamat for being here. Good afternoon.
Thank you so much, SVP President Alfrancis. I know you're all excited to talk to our VIP, so we'll just get this started and go ahead with our question and answer. We have a mic located out back or out front. Just raise your hand and we will send you the mic. Just introduce yourself and to who you're addressing the question to. Let's open our floor to questions from the media, starting out with... No one wants to go first for the time being? First question? Alright, Mr. Sidman.
Hi, good afternoon, gentlemen. I'd just like to ask if all players in the 15-man pool are healthy and ready to go. There were reports that Caicedo suffered a concussion in his last game in the B League. So, are there any updates on that?
Maybe Richard can answer.
Yes, we've been in touch with the medical team of Kai's team in Japan, and he has been put under the concussion protocol of the B League, and we are following up. He's in the process of completing the concussion protocol, but from all indications, he will be available come game time upon completion of those protocols.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
While we wait for our next media member to ask their question, let me just toss over the mic to Ms. Erica D. How are the ticket sales going, Ms. Erica, right now, and what are still available to be scooped up by our Gilas Pilipinas fans for November 21 and November 24?
Thank you, Carlo. The ticket sales are doing very well. Specifically for the New Zealand game, we're about 80 to 90% sold out already. We are reserving 80% of our general admission tickets to be sold on the game day itself. This is to make way for walk-ins now, which we realized in the past windows that this is a big market for our Gilas fans. For the Hong Kong game, we're around 60%, so we can still do better, and we wish that the public can really support us here.
But you can really sense that may gigil to be able to finally score a win against New Zealand. That's why we're at 80%, 90% capacity already. Any more questions from our friends from the media? Yes, Ian?
Hi, Ian Suyu from TV5. To Coach team, Coach, given the 15-man pool, is Jamie going to play for the qualifiers? And also, with only less than 2 weeks of preparation, what are the most challenging part that we're trying to do right now?
Well, it's actually only 5 days of preparation, not 2 weeks. So it's always challenging, but we keep talking about the continuity of the program, and the preparation that we have is cumulative. In other words, we've prepared with the first window we had at the beginning of the year. We've also prepared with the OQT. That's been part of our preparation, understanding the system of both offense and defense. And now we come in, we feel, that the key that we want is to try to elevate our game every time we come into a new window. We want to be better from the first window to the second, from the second to the third, and then the third going into next year. We want to continually elevate as we become more familiar with each other. We have more practice time with each other. We have more video work with each other, and we have more game experience with each other. So that's why the 15 and 14-man pool has stayed constant as much as possible, because it is a short preparation time. So it's a cumulative one, and that's why it's important that we keep the group together. And so that's always going to be the challenge, the short prep times. But it's not something we don't have to condition the players, because they're already in good condition. It's really just about teaching and learning and gaining experience of playing with each other and under the system that the coaching staff gives them. So Jamie is not available. I think that Jamie needs to get back into the Ginebra lineup and get comfortable there before he gets back into the Gilas lineup. And hopefully that'll happen within the next month or two. But he's still very, very much an important part of the pool, only because he's one of those hybrid players who can play multiple positions, can defend multiple types of players, and also is a guy that can get out in the open court and give us a different feel for how we want to play if it's necessary for us to up-tempo and play the game at a higher pace. So he gives us that versatility, and that's why he's so valuable to us. And it's been Siam that we haven't had him, or AJ Adu. And of course we lost Scotty in the last window as well. So we'll have Scotty back, and that's a big plus for us.
Thanks, Coach.
Next question. Let me ask one for you. Sir Al, after the success of the last window when we hosted in the Phil Sports, the turnout was amazing. Was that part of the reason why you decided, SBP decided to go to a bigger venue, Mo Arena this time around?
Also availability comes into play. I think the more that we can have in the venue, of course, better. Of course, Mo is much bigger than Phil Sports, and we want to make sure that, again, the national team has 2 games here. The next games, I think, in the country will be quite some time, as I said earlier. So we'd like to have more people see the national team live every time they play. So we were able to bring it to Mo.
Any more questions? Yes?
Hi, good afternoon. Mello Fuertes from Inquirer.net. Question for Coach Tim. Coach Tim, when the 15-man pool was released just a few days ago, one of the surprising names there was Ange Kouame. Can you tell us what the conversation was like with him and how he was selected to be in that lineup?
Well, Ange is, one of our naturalized players. So we could only play one naturalized player at a time. So the only person that he could play in place of is Justin Brownman. And I think it's really important that because of that, if something, God forbid, knock on wood, happens to Justin, then we would be able to bring in Ange, and he would, again, know the system. He knows what's asked of him. He'll be part of the preparation. So it's important to have him be a part of the program as much as possible as that backup, as we wait for Benny Boatwright to go through the process of his immigration and whatever he needs to be done. So Ange is very important to us, and we need him there so he can be ready to step in immediately if necessary. Plus, he's one of the few guys that can throw a body at Junmar and get Jumar ready for bigger players, playing against bigger players. And so he has a very important role for us. But he will most likely not be in the lineup because we expect Justin to play in both games.
More questions? Yeah.
Hi, Coach. Will Kevin Kembao join the team, especially that the UAAP is also?
Well, go ahead, I'll tell you.
Yes, he'll be joining the team. I think the UAP has a game on the 20th and the 23rd that does not involve Lasal. So I think, of course, Rebo Sagisan, who's also a big part of the whole journey that Tim talked about earlier. This was a plan that started really January of this year. First Friday of January, we met in Marco Polo Hotel, and this has been envisioned to go all the way to the World Cup in 2027 and hopefully Olympics beyond that. No? So, but this is a journey that we've embarked on, and as Tim said, every window is important. It's improvement from the last window or the last tournament. In fact, if I may share, Tim, there was a conversation early part of the year. I said to Tim, I know you're very busy also as a coach of Ginebra in the PBA, and by the way, thank you to the PBA for always been supportive of the Gilas program. And I told Tim that maybe certain windows, you can have either Coach Richard, who knows your system, coach the windows so that you can be given the time also to do other things. No, I beg to disagree. I want to coach every window because every window is a stepping stone to the next. Tim, you were saying that. So I think this is a journey for the team, but we always want to do better from the last window. So to answer your question, yes, KQ will be around.
Thank you. Ria, do you have more questions from our friends from the media? Just going back quickly to EB, how important was it to get the buy-in of all the stakeholders? Because, coming back to that meeting in January, before Coach Tim even fully accepted the role of being Gilas Pilipinas head coach, everyone said yes to the plan, and now we're seeing parts of the process coming through already from that meeting alone.
It's very crucial now. Like Coach Tim always said, this program's not going to work without the support of everybody else. So we're very thankful that most especially the biggest players in the country like the PBA, the UAP, and the NCAA, they're all on board in fixing the schedules to allow for this team that Coach Tim has formed to be together for every international window.
Thank you, EB. Go ahead.
Coach Tim, can you talk about having AJ back on the board, the lineup?
Well, you want to explain about AJ first?
Okay, AJ suffered an injury in his last game in Japan. Okay, so right now we are in communication also with the medical team of AJ in the B League, and he needs to undergo strengthening with his knee. As you all know, AJ has a long history of injuries. And once he arrives, he's arriving today, and then we will make our assessment with our trainers, our own trainers and medical staff, and see from there if it depends on his recovery, if he will be available for the window. And it's unfortunate because the injury happened just days before coming into this window, but we are still hopeful that he can recover in time, and we can only see that once he arrives in the country.
Coach Tim, we know that injuries happen, but he still will make the effort to fly here. What does it help you out with? Even if the players are not available for the games, what do their presence actually help you moving forward? Why are they even here if they can play, Coach?
Well, AJ is still a very, very young player, and there's still a huge future with AJ as we move forward. And so, we want to integrate him into the program. We want him to understand what we're doing, and we want him to create chemistry with his teammates. And this is all a process that we go through with all the players, but a young guy like AJ is especially important. The same thing with Jamie. Jamie Malonzo will be at the camp, and even though he won't be able to play, but he will go immerse himself in watching our videos and hearing our discussions and watching the actions on the floor. And this is something both of them will go through. In the meantime, Mason, Amos, and Japeth, Aguilar will take their place in the everyday practice and eventually into the lineup and go if they're not ready. And Jamie for sure is not ready. AJ is doubtful. But that's why Mason and Japeth are so absolutely crucial to us as well. Because Japeth can understand, he knows the system, he can step in immediately. And Mason we've kept him, he went through the whole OQT with us. He was in the lineup. I still feel bad to this day that he didn't get minutes, but he was an important person in terms of doing the everyday work during the practices and the preparation leading up to that. And now he's ready to step in because he had that preparation time during the OQT. So it's all about preparation, really. And if we get someone like AJ who skips this time, then it's just that much more he has to learn when he comes back in February when we go to Thailand and New Zealand to play. So he'll use this time to prepare for the next window if he cannot play. So it's important that he be here. Let me just add, if I may, this is really a trial year for us. You know, this whole program that we've done this year has been a trial to see what works, what doesn't work. You know, we're still tweaking it, we're still looking at it, and at the year end in December, Al and Erica will reassess everything that's gone on, and we'll work from there. So we're still, trying to figure things out, how big the lineup should be, who should be in it, whether the coaching staff is the right group to do this and move forward. These are still, like I said, this is a trial year for us, and we're still trying to fine tune everything that goes on. So I'm looking forward. I'm hoping that one of the things where we're hoping hard is that Coach Alfrancis will join us. We're looking forward to him joining us on the bench and being a stronger part of the program. He's always been there for me to consult with and talk with, and of course, we have that great run in the Asian Games, which was fantastic. It was great having him there on the bench, motivating the players. He's such a great motivator, and so we're hoping that he can. That's one of the things that we hope to enhance the program with his presence. I'm not sure. I guess we're still working on it, but it's something that I'm really hoping that we get. And one of the things that we're hoping to go forward with is that his presence, Alfrancis' presence.
Well, Tim talks about fine-tuning the whole program. That's one of the things that we're looking at. We're still talking to Alfrancis, hoping that he's been helping in the background, but I want to sort of formalize him to be part of the program. Sana maulit yung Asian Games that he was here, and kung mauulit-ulit yun, papasalamat din ako kay RSA kung mangyari ulit yun. So we're talking to him. Hopefully we can make him a big part of this also.
And I believe that will be the last of our questions for today here in this press conference. Oh, maybe one more. Yes, Sir Ruben, welcome to the CX.
Follow up with regards to Justin, how is he not right now? Because there were concerns about his health after the finals.
Well, I was just telling that we were saying that I think you're going to see a really motivated Justin come into this New Zealand. I mean, he struggled. We all struggled in this series, and people started thinking that he was having injuries or not. It was just a tough, long, playoff. Going through Morocco and San Miguel, and then having to go against Takatex and Ronde Hollis Jefferson. It was a tough road, and we kind of limped to the finish line. I think everybody saw us limping and assumed that's the way we are generally, and we're not that. I think Justin's going to have about 8-9 days off before he gets back into work. I think that'll be a big breather for him. But after talking to him after the finals, he's highly motivated. And when you see Justin highly motivated, you know, we've seen him highly motivated in the past and what he can do. So I don't think anybody has anything to fear about Justin. He's ready. He'll be raring to go, and I think he's going to put up some real nice performances for the country coming up.
Another follow-up. Ange Kwame, so he'll be in the training camp even in the future windows. He will be present, or will he be only in this window?
Well, we hope he'll always be available if he's in town. I mean, I know that this last year he went to Europe and played in Europe, and he would have been part of our OQT training as well, but he was in Europe at the time. So, you know, if he's available and around and he's willing, he's all, you know, Ange is a super guy. I mean, first of all, he is like the nicest man. I don't think the only other nice man I met that's nicer than him or about the same is Jumar. I mean, Ange and Jumar are two really, really gentle giants, and they're a joy to be around. They're a joy to have around. So Ange is only going to enhance everything that we do. He's a hard worker. He brings it every day in practice. He's going to make us all better. So yeah, we'd like to have Ange as long as he's willing.
Another question with regards to Pai Soto. You mentioned about being under concussion protocol. Could you specify what exactly is he allowed to travel? Is he allowed to practice? Or when is he allowed to practice? The details for.
All right, he's here in the country right now. He's already here. So he traveled from Japan. He's in the middle of the protocols. Right now there are 6 steps to be taken. He's on his 3rd step. Okay, but it's not as easy as going to the next step right away. So after 1 step, there's an observation period before you go to the next step, and the doctor has to see him, and the doctor needs to clear him to play before he can get to the court. But considering everything, if he passes all those steps, then by the time that we play in New Zealand, then he can play, and he can even practice days before that. But of course, primary considerations is health. So we want to make sure that he's healthy enough to step back on the court, because these are young guys. Even with AJ Edu, they're still the future of Philippine basketball. We're not just preparing them for this window, but for the future windows as well.
But is there, of course, God forbid, is there chance na si Kai won't play because of the protocols, or medyo may chance talaga makapaglaro? High chance of playing?
I couldn't answer that because it's a medical issue. Right? So it's a medical issue, and it's only after the assessment of doctor that he can determine if Kai will be cleared to play.
No more tune-up games inside Inspire, or is there a plan to do that?
We have been looking around. We might invite a PBA team to come on up and join and play us. We would prefer to play 1 game prior to meeting up with New Zealand if we could, but we don't have anything on the docket right now. We're still considering things. I don't know if we're really going to have the time to do like we've done in the past, a field sports practice in front of the player. We only have 5 days of preparation this time, so the 5 days are really, really crucial. Each day and each practice is going to be very crucial for us. And so maybe next time with longer prep, we'll have an opportunity to do that, especially since we're playing here at home, so it doesn't seem that that's as important as it was if we're going, you know, overseas and nobody gets a chance to see us. Maybe the next window, when we're going to Taiwan and New Zealand, we'll work a little harder on trying to get some opportunities for fans to see us before we leave.
Coach, speaking of New Zealand, what's your views? Already seen their game, you studied them, and just your general observations about New Zealand. I think they have a new coach.
Exactly.
Yeah, just your thoughts.
That's the difficult part of this, is that they do have a new coach, and so you know their system's going to change a little bit. They're bringing over a little different personnel than they have from the past years. and they're a little different from the World Cup, the team that came over here in 2023. So they might be a little bit more difficult to prepare for, but you know the social media and video and YouTube, you know, there's so much information there to be gathered, and we're in the midst of gathering that, and we've got videos out to the players already, even though we haven't met with them yet. We've already sent videos to them about their players and about their games, so our players are studying that already. You know, they're the 22nd ranked team in the world, you know, and that's higher than what the Georgia team that we play. Georgia's 24th in the OQT. They are a tough team. They're a physical team. They're a nation of rugby players, so they know how to play physically. It's a part of their culture. It's not personal, it's just the way they play. And so that's something we're going to have to be conscious of. But I think that, you know, I don't think they've seen a team like the team we're assembling before. So I think we got a shot at beating them, and we want to certainly protect our home court, and we want to show ourselves to our fans, to the Gilas fans around the country. These are all very, very important to us, and so I really expect us to be ready and motivated to play.
And with those fighting words from Coach Tim Cole, we will close the question and answer portion of our press conference. But before we let you all go, just a closing statement from SPP President Alfrancis, just to invite everyone to come show their support for Gilas Pilipinas men as we take on New Zealand on November 21 and Hong Kong on November 24.
Okay, again, thank you for being here today. Again, the game November 21 and 24, 7:30 on November 21. Wear blue, according to ED Erika. The fans can wear blue. Asking for your support. This is really part of our plan, our journey to you know, bigger tournaments in the future. This is one step that's important for us. So looking forward to your support and your prayers. And again, you know, the fans being the sixth man of the team, telling Richard, you know, maybe bring all the Ginebra fans too. But I know this is not about Ginebra, this is about the national team. So I think everybody will cheer on our national team. So inviting everybody to be there, please. Thank you.
Thank you, President Coach Tim.
Yeah, I just want to add that you know, we really need the fans to be there. You just don't realize the effect it has when we have a full stadium and everybody's geared up and ready to cheer. It just really elevates the players. You know, we're going to be the underdogs against New Zealand, no doubt, and we're going to be probably the favorites, maybe even heavy favorites against Hong Kong, but we certainly can't take Hong Kong for granted. And again, these games are so important because they give us the higher seeds in the Fiba Asia, which we will play in Jeddah in August. And we certainly want to show out. We said from the beginning that we feel we can, you know, we want to compete on the international level, but we want to win in Asia. And New Zealand is part of Asia, and Hong Kong obviously is part of Asia. This is really important for us to show up and show out and when we come to playing Asian teams. So again, we're hoping everybody shows up because this is important for us, and we hope it's important for you.
Thank you so much, Coach Tim. How about a warm round of applause for our four panelists? Thank you so much for giving us the time here in this press conference for the Samahang Basketball of Pilipinas. Moving forward to the second window of the FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers. Now it's time for everyone to move out front so we can get photos of our panelists here today. I request all of our four guests to please stand and pose for photos for social media, the dailies tomorrow. We just take out our nameplates. Just in the middle, just scoot over so we could take photos of all you four. We are 8 days away from the return of Gilas Pilipinas men. Get your tickets now for the Fiba Asia Cup qualifiers this November 21 and 24 at the SM Mall of Asia Arena. Price starts at only 400 pesos. Buy your tickets today through smtickets.com and all SM Ticket outlets. May mga bagong seats that will be made available on game day itself. Kaya kita-kita tayo sa Mall of Asia Arena next week, and let's support Gilas Pilipinas men. And that officially ends our press conference. See you again next time, and we hope to see you at the Mall Arena on November 21 and 24.